Let us now have an overview of the academic services area of the seminary. Academic services at Payne include the Office of the Academic Dean, the Registrar, the Library, the Faculty, and related services such as IT. Payne offers 4 types of courses. The majority of our courses are entirely online. These courses last 10 weeks, and there are 2 sessions of online courses in each semester. Thus, each fall and spring, there's the possibility of taking courses in Session 1 and Session 2. So, if a normal academic load is between 12 and 15 credit hours a semester, then you as a student can take 2 courses in Session 1 and 2 more courses in Session 2, which would equal 12 credit hours or a full-time load for that semester. You should also remember that to finish this degree in 3 years, you will need to take courses in the summer session. Intensive courses are 1-week classes in a face-to-face format. They usually begin on Monday or Tuesday and last until Friday. Payne is working to expand these intensive courses into blended ones where pre-meeting and post-meeting work will be required for the course. Traditional courses are residential courses that last roughly 13 weeks and meet in a face-to-face format on the Payne campus. Blended courses are classes that meet in a face-to-face format for part of the course and online for the rest of the course. As I mentioned earlier, we are working on making our intensive courses into blended courses in order to enhance the educational experience of you as a student. Remember, you receive residential credit when you take intensive, traditional, and blended courses. Even courses taken off campus, such as courses we offer at the Lutheran Theological Seminary in Philadelphia or New Brunswick Theological Seminary, count toward residential credit. The Master of Divinity curriculum is divided into 4 subject areas: Biblical Studies, Historical Studies, Practical Theology or Practical Ministry, and Theological Studies. As a student, you will be able to take between 5 and 8 hours of elective courses during the Master of Divinity program. Please make sure you complete a prerequisite for a course before taking a higher level one. For example, in order to take Pastoral Care and Counseling, you will have had to have passed successfully Theological Research and Writing. You need 90 credit hours to finish the Master of Divinity degree. 30 of those hours must be residential. The best place to start earning your residential credits is by attending our introductory formational sequence, CM 150, Spiritual Formation, and CM 180, Ministry Formation. These are offered at the beginning of the fall and spring semesters. So in just a 2-week period, you will have fulfilled 6 of your 30 necessary credit hours. Then there are just 8 more courses for residential credit to go. We recommend that you try to take all required courses before taking electives. This may not always be possible, but it will help you move quickly through the curriculum. Also, please plan to take at least 3 courses for residential credit per year. A good time to fulfill residential requirements is during the summer term. Above all, take your courses at a pace you can handle. In order to finish the M.Div in 3 years, you will need to take 30 credit hours a year. You could do this easily by taking 4 courses in the fall, 2 in each session, 4 courses in the spring, 2 in each session, and 2 courses in the summer. Now, let us look at the requirements in each of the subject areas. Biblical Studies has 15 required credit hours, with 3 of those courses being prescribed and required. BS 101, Introduction to the Hebrew Scriptures, usually is taught in the fall. BS 103, Introduction to the New Testament, is generally taught in the spring. And you should notice that BS 270, Cultural Hermeneutics, is an intensive that is only taught in the summer. There are also 15 required credit hours in the area of Historical Studies. 2 of these courses are required of all students. HS 110, Christian History and Context 1, which is usually taught in the fall. HS 120, Christian History and Context 2, which is generally taught in the spring. And if you are African Methodist, a 3rd course is required, HS 221, AME Church History. The practical ministry area of the curriculum is where you will garner most of your hours. You will need between 37 and 40 credit hours in this area. Luckily, one of those hours comes from taking this course, CM 090, Introduction to Blended Theological Education. Note, as you look down the list, that in addition to theological research and writing and supervised ministry and pulpit communication, that AME students are required to take AME polity and practice. Students must take worship in liturgy. Or, if you choose not to take worship in liturgy, you can take pulpit communication 2. That is, after you take pulpit communication 1. You must take pastoral care and counseling. We have a required course in HIV and AIDS. We also have a required course in ministerial sexual ethics, which is taught as an intensive in the summer. All students take senior seminar, which is where you'll write your final thesis. And we also require that you attend the Daniel Payne lecture series, better known as Transformational Leadership. Theological studies is an interesting area of the curriculum because all of the required hours are spelled out for you already. You must take systematic theology, liberation theologies, Christian ethics, the African American religious experience, and intro to womanist and feminist theology. Payne offers its graduates academic honors upon completion of their degrees. You can graduate cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. You should also be aware that you are required to make what is called satisfactory academic progress during your time with us. This means that your cumulative grade point average cannot fall below a 2.5 on a 4-point scale. If your cumulative grade point average goes below a 2.5, you will be placed on academic probation. Normally, academic probation lasts for 1 semester, and you as a student will quickly rectify any problems that you had in the prior semester. If not, you will be asked to petition for an academic plan. This plan comes from me, the academic dean. It will outline the courses you need to retake and the time period in which you need to take them. Academic probation is a serious matter since it can affect your financial aid and your ability to continue in the degree program. Registration occurs in June for fall courses, in November for spring courses, and in April for summer courses. Registration is done electronically using SonusWeb, our student information system. The registration period is generally 1 month. In order to make sure that you're making satisfactory progress, please consult the Payne catalog for degree requirements. You may also contact the Academic Services Office for suggested courses to take during your time at Payne. We also offer a recommended list of foundational courses for all first-year students. This can be retrieved from the Academic Services Office as well. Your advisor can be your best advocate in completing your degree in a timely fashion. You have been given an advisor in SonusWeb. If one is not entered there, your advisor may be the academic dean. Please contact my office to receive any clarification on this matter if it is not clear. Sometimes students have issues that keep them from registering during the registration periods. Please be proactive in addressing these potential problems. If the problem is financial, you should contact the business office. If the problem is academic, you should contact the Academic Services Office. We will work with you to resolve these matters as quickly as possible. Again, please do not wait until the last minute to address registration issues. This will help you avoid any late fees. After registration is closed, you can still register using a drop-add form. You can find this form under Vital Student Resources on the Payne website. Unless you are a brand new student, using the drop-add form to register for classes will entail a fee. You can also drop or add a class during the first 2 weeks of the semester without a fee if you are already registered for classes. For example, say you signed up for theological research and writing in the first session, but you decided it may be better to take it in the second session because of the time requirements of your biblical studies course. You can drop the first session of theological research and writing and add the second session of the course without being charged a fee. There are special rules when it comes to dropping or adding intensive courses. In order to drop an intensive course, You must make this request at least 2 weeks prior to the beginning of the course. If you do not drop the class 2 weeks prior to the beginning of the course, you will be liable for the tuition charges for the class. Also, if you want to withdraw from an intensive course, you must do this before the course begins in order to receive a W, or withdrawn, on your transcript rather than a failing grade. A copy of the Payne catalog can be found on the seminary website. You will also be given one on your flash drive during our short orientation session. This catalog serves as your Bible for the time you are with us. It contains all the important dates, fees, course information, and other materials you will need to successfully complete the Master of Divinity program. All official correspondence by email must be done from your Payne email address. I cannot stress this enough. Please do not use your personal or work email addresses to communicate with instructors, staff, or myself. Only your Payne email address will allow us to keep track of the correspondence. This is for your protection. Say you emailed an assignment to an instructor from your personal email address, and the instructor later says that she did not receive it. We have no way of checking on your behalf to verify your claim. So, use your Payne email. Make a habit of it. Check it regularly. This is your primary communication link to the school. If you attended an accredited theological institution prior to your matriculation here at Payne, you may be able to receive credit for one or several of the courses you have already taken. In order to redeem this credit, please submit an official transcript from your prior institution, as well as a course description, to the Academic Services Office for review. From time to time, you may have circumstances that arise that necessitate you requesting an incomplete grade from an instructor. The Payne policy on incomplete grades is simple. You as a student may request an incomplete grade from an instructor no later than the last day of class. Thereafter, an incomplete must be requested from the academic dean. If it is approved, the instructor signs the incomplete form or sends approval by email to the Payne registrar. Coursework from an approved incomplete must be completed and submitted no later than 30 days after the last day of the semester for M.Div and special students. You as a student are responsible for submitting and any remaining work to the instructor by the deadline via email and copying that email to the Payne registrar. Students who fail to submit required courses by the deadline will receive an F grade for the course. The instructor is required to submit the grade change within 30 days of receiving the completed work from you, the student. Incomplete grades can jeopardize a student's financial aid status, and students with at least one incomplete are placed on probation until the incomplete is resolved. Students on academic probation cannot request an incomplete for a course. For intensive courses, such as those offered during the summer term, requests for an incomplete must be made directly to the instructor by the due date of the last assignment for the course as stated in the course syllabus. Any student request that comes after the appropriate deadline, but within 10 days of the deadline, must be requested from the academic dean. If you want to challenge a grade you received in a course, your first course of action is to contact the instructor. If you can come to no resolution on the grade with the instructor, please contact your academic advisor. If your academic advisor is of no assistance, then please contact me, the academic dean. Grade challenges can be a lengthy process, so please have patience when we work through these matters. You can request an official or unofficial copy of your transcript by going to the Payne website. Please allow the Academic Services Office a week to process your request and have your transcript in the mail to you. If you are in the ordination process of the AME Church, you will need to make sure you understand the requirements for your Board of Examiners. Again, Payne's policy on this is straightforward. The doctrine and discipline of the African Methodist Episcopal Church require specific courses in African Methodist history, doctrine, and polity. Some annual conferences may require additional courses for their students. Students are responsible for knowing if their annual conference Board of Examiners has any additional requirements. Payne will provide you with any necessary materials you may need for your board to demonstrate that you are making satisfactory progress. Please give us at least a week to provide you with a transcript or a letter of good standing. Again, let me stress that your relationship with your faculty advisor is extremely important. Please work on building that relationship. And after you finish the Master of Divinity degree, you might want to go on to do a Doctor of Ministry degree. We will start offering the Doctor of Ministry degree in the fall of 2015 here at Payne. So finally, own your degree progress. Know what it is that you need to do in order to succeed. You need 90 credit hours in order to graduate. 30 of those credit hours must be residential. Make sure that you are getting the right kinds of credits. Look at your catalog. Know your subject area requirements, and keep in mind the 30 residential credit hour requirement. You must keep a cumulative GPA of 2.5 or above, and you also have to meet any other obligations Payne may have. So again, welcome to Payne Theological Seminary. We look forward to your successful completion of our program.